everyone, this is Susie, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my recipe on how I make my liquid hand soap, or you can also use this for your body wash. And I figured out a way how to make the soap without it getting thick and slimy like it usually does. If you've made soap before, if you've seen other videos on how it's made, you see that it's a really thick consistency, and with this recipe it stays liquid like it would with any other regular soap. Okay, so these are the ingredients. We need distilled water, we need a bar of soap, and a little bit of the pure Castile soap, and essential oils of your choice, and that is optional. So let's get started. So I have about 2 cups of distilled water that I am heating up, and you can do this while you grate your bar soap, okay? So first you need to pick your soap. I usually use Castile soap. This one is fragrance free, or you can use some scented soap as well of your choice, whichever one you want. And you just take your grater and you grate your soap like this, you know, like you would, until it's all completely grated. So once my water, it seems like it's going to begin to boil, I usually just, turn it off, and I add my grated soap. And that heat is usually enough for it to melt it, so that you don't have to have the stove on until this melts. So it usually melts just with that heat. And you just let it sit there. You don't even have to stir it or anything. It'll just melt. If you leave it there by itself, it will melt completely. So it's been about 10 minutes, and this is what it looks like, and I haven't stirred it at all. You see it slowly melts by itself, and we're just going to let this cool, okay? So you can do this like the night before, so that in the morning it is completely cooled if you want, and then we go to the next step, or you can just leave it there for like an hour or so. Okay, so I want you guys to see how my bar soap remains liquid. Like I told you, it does not become solid like the other soaps do. If you've seen videos on it, or if you've made liquid soap from bar soap, you know what I'm talking about. So I did that for a while, and I didn't really like the consistency of it, so I cried out to the heavens and the heavens answered. I said, there has to be a better way. How can I keep my soap liquid? So the idea came to me, and the secret is to add a little bit of your Liquid Castile soap to this. So to about, what I do is I kept one of these where it says Castile bar soap, and I just keep refilling this one, and I use this to make my hand soaps or whatever it is that you like to do. And I think that if you're doing body washes and stuff like that, the consistency, the more gel-like consistency is good, but for your liquid hand soaps, I think that this is the best option. And so this is a good option if you are someone that wants your soaps to remain liquid, or if you are someone that wants to extend the life of your Castile soap. Because I know that a lot of people use this to make their soap, but after a while it can get a little bit expensive because this is obviously more pricey. So this way you would still use this, but you would like extend the life of it because you're diluting it with bar soap, but it still remains liquid. So I think that that is awesome. So I left it here. Usually I will finish my batch before I make another one, but I wanted you to see that it does remain liquid, and this has been here for, I don't know, maybe over a month or so. And what I'm just gonna add it in there. I wouldn't usually do this step, obviously, because there would be nothing here. So from this point, let's say this is just our bar soap that we just melted, I would add, I think I've used maybe for once or twice, I would use maybe like, you can play around with this. I don't have exact measurements, but I would start with at least like 1/4 of a cup and add it to your bar soap that you just melted. I would add that, and then you would just stir it in, and it's ready to go. So this is your soap. And then from here, this is a little warm still, so I'm not going to pour it into my plastic container, but you would just pour it in here. And if it needed any more water, then you would just grab your distilled water and just fill it up to the top, okay? And that would be your soap. And then from there, what I do is I would take my liquid bar soap, and when this was done, I would fill it up maybe to 1/3 or so, depending how strong you want it. I would go up to 1/3 and then fill the rest up with distilled water. And then to maybe one of these containers, you can add about 10 drops of eucalyptus. This is one of my favorites. Or lemongrass also, about 10 drops. Just 10 drops total, okay? 10 drops of this one or 10 drops of this one. And I noticed that these essential oils, they remain, like the scent remains strong. It doesn't, vanish after a few days. So, because I guess they're so potent, the smell is so potent, these work well. Or you can just leave it like that. Just add your distilled water to it, and that's it. Like this one is unscented for my bathroom, and then I have one that is scented in my kitchen, and that's it. So the other thing is that, let's say that you did do this at night, you could probably add the soap to it while it's still warm. I think I've done that before, and nothing, it doesn't harm it or anything like that, because if you did wait until the morning, this would probably be solid. And yes, you can still, dilute it. It will still become liquid. Once you add this to it, it's like magic. Eventually, it just turns it back to liquid again. This has something that turns this back to liquid again. So then, don't worry about it. You can still do it. It's no problem at all. This will still work, even if this becomes a little bit gelatinous. And then the other thing is that if you really want to be specific about it, you can give it a try. Try out the measurements exactly and play around with the measurements. Let's say start with 2 tablespoons or something, and then see if that gets thick. I would leave some room in here. Let's say you fill it up to here, and you add 2 tablespoons of this soap to this. And then let's say it gets gelatinous and it's still a little bit, slimy and stuff. Then you would add another tablespoon maybe, or 2 more, and work your way up and see what would be the minimum amount that you would need for this amount of soap for it to have a liquid consistency, and that way you wouldn't be using more than you actually need of this soap, okay? Because it is more pricey. So if you want to extend the life of this, that would be a good thing to do. I haven't done that, unfortunately. But if you guys figure it out, let me know. If not, I will try to play around with it. And maybe I will make a note of it eventually. So you might want to check my notes eventually if I do figure out what the minimum amount would be for 1 bar of soap for this to be poured into this. And yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say. And if you've never made your own liquid soap from the bar soap, you can use this for body wash, if you want to make a body wash maybe like for your baby that's unscented. This would be a great option, and like I say, it would be less expensive than if you used this soap. You can make shampoos. I've made shampoos, body washes, hand soaps, just different things. Whatever it is that you would use this liquid soap for, this is exactly the same thing. The only thing is that it might not be as concentrated as this, but other than that, it serves the same purpose. It does a great job. It does not lather a lot, but it cleans everything. You could also probably use this, because I know a lot of people do their own detergents and stuff, and they will use sometimes this soap to wash their clothes. This is a great alternative because it's less expensive. You can make it your own, and you would save, some money if you did it like this. So, and in case you were wondering, this is a 32-ounce container, okay? So I hope that this tutorial was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.